Hey, hello, hi dear Swift learners, how are you all? I hope that you all are very fine and safe at your homes. And here I am back with another new session. So we are going to study about nervous system today, and before that we will be having a quick tour on Swiflearn to see what is Swiflearn all about. Swiflearn. It is India's most sincere learning destination wherein we provide the classes for grade 1 to grade 10. You will be getting live and interactive classes over here wherein you will be connecting with your teachers through audio and video calls, and you will be taking your lessons. We have personalized attention batch in which maximum 6 students are present in every batch. Plus we have an academic mentor team also apart from the teachers to guide you throughout your lessons. And also we cover the syllabus as per your school exam schedule, so that you can perform amazingly well in your schools also. There are some of the key features which make Swiflearn all the more special. So these include, first of all, its detailed progress report. After every 2 or 2.5 months, you will be getting a kind of progress report, which will be a kind of detailed analysis of what you have been doing in your homeworks, practice tests, classwork, etc. You can also participate in Swiflearn academic test series in which you can compete with the students of your grade, of your age, and you can see where do you stand and what are the things that you need to improve. Plus you can take unlimited tests which are available on the Swiflearn portal, and that too there are 2 categories, subjective and objective. So the subjective test will further help you in your school exams. So all these things you can experience yourself just by booking a very free trial class on the Swiflearn app. All you need to do is just download the Swiflearn app, take your class, select your grade, and there you go with your free trial class. And please subscribe to the channel of Swiflearn and press the bell icon so that you do not miss out on any update of Swiflearn. So today we are going to study about nervous system. Alright, what are the things that we are going to study here? It's coordination, neurons, and the parts of neurons. So let's quickly get started. If I talk about when we are hungry and we are served with food, what do? We hold the spoon, we take the food, and then we eat it by chewing, using our jaw muscles. So all of these activities, they are interrelated to one another. And all these activities, they are performed based on our needs. And this interlinking of activities, like first we are holding the spoon, then we are picking up the food, then we are taking it to the mouth, then we are chewing it, these all interlinkage, it is known as what? Coordination. Now talking about humans, we have 2 levels of coordination. First is nervous coordination and second is chemical coordination. Nervous coordination, it is completely handled by nervous system, and chemical coordination, it is handled by chemical messengers which are also known as hormones. So we will be seeing about both type of coordinations. Now sensation. So what is sensation? It is a physical process during which sensory organ systems or sensory systems, they respond to stimuli and provide data for perception. Now what is meant by stimuli first of all? So stimuli, it is anything that can trigger any physical change. So sensation, it is related to stimuli. How? It is a kind of physical process during which what happens is our sensory system, they respond to any stimuli which brings about a change, and it provides a data for perception. A sense is any of the system involved in sensation. So during sensation, our sense organs, they are engaged in the data collection, in stimulus collection and transduction. The changes in the environment to which an organism responds is called stimuli. For example, let's take a very simple example of touching a hot beaker. Or touching a hot utensil. If we touch a hot utensil, we quickly remove our hand. Why? Because our body is responding to that environment, and that is what is known as stimuli. And sensory transduction, what is that? It is the stimulus altering events wherein a physical stimulus is converted into action. So the process by which we are bringing our body into an action, right, responding to any stimulus. Now If for example, if we take a very simple case, like if we are getting simple signal, right, we are collecting it through our organs, then that message is transduced, okay, it is processed in our brain, and then action is taken accordingly. And we have sensory receptors: nose, eyes, skin, ear, tongue. What are sensory receptors? So these occur in specialized organs, okay, our sense organs such as eye, ear, nose, mouth, and our internal organs also. So each receptor, the function is, it conveys a distinct sensory modality to integrate into a single perceptual frame eventually. So each type of receptor, they have a separate type of function, and due to this only we are able to respond to our environment. So we have different type of receptors: mechanoreceptor, which include touching, the pressure, vibration that we feel, stretch, or hearing. Then we have thermoreceptor, which is related to heat, so it includes temperature changes. Photoreceptor, it is related to light, so it includes light, retina in our eyes, rods and cones. Chemoreceptor, so it detects the chemical in solution, taste, or olfactory. Then we have osmoreceptors, so it is related to the osmotic pressure of our body fluids. And then we have nociceptors, which are related to the pain that we have in our body, okay. So we have all these type of receptors, and how our activity is controlled in our body, it is controlled by the nervous system. All the activities which are happening in our body, they are controlled by the nervous system. And now we are going to study about nervous system. So it is comprising the central nervous system, which consists of our brain, our spinal cord, and the peripheral nervous system. It consists of cranial, spinal, and peripheral nerves, okay. So they all again have their motor and sensory organs. So these all things combine to form what is known as the nervous system, okay. So we have parasympathetic and sympathetic human nervous system, and let us study about both of them. So our nervous system, it is divided into two categories, in which one is central nervous system and second one is peripheral nervous system. In the central nervous system, it is included, the brain and the spinal cord is included. And in peripheral nervous system, which is also known as PNS, it consists mainly of the nerves which connects the central nervous system to the rest of the body. Now, which system come under nervous system? So we have central and peripheral. In peripheral, it is divided into two categories, which are somatic and autonomic nervous system. And again, autonomic, it is divided into sympathetic and parasympathetic. So how does this nervous system work simultaneously with all above mentioned subsystems? And how do the nervous system communicate with each other? Let us see. It is due to neurons. So what are the neurons? These are the fundamental unit of nervous system, which are specialized to transform or transmit the information to different part of the body. So what is the function of neurons? They are responsible for transmitting the information to different parts of the body, and that is how our body reacts to various changes. So this is the structure, which includes nucleus. This is dendrite. Then we have soma here, axon. This particular thing is known as axon. Then we have myelin sheath, Schwann cell, and here is nerve ending. Now, neurons, they are building blocks of nervous system. Like cell is building block of our body. Similarly, neurons, they are the building block of our nervous system. Their function is to transmit and receive the signals to different part of the body. And it is carried out in physical and electrical forms, and there are many type of neurons that facilitate the transmission of information. And because of this transmission of information only, our body is able to react to various stimuli. The sensory neurons, they carry information from sensory receptor cell present throughout the body to the brain. Okay, so they take information from our body, they pass it on to the brain, and that is how we are able to respond. And the motor neurons, their work is to transform the information from brain to the muscles. Now, sensory neurons function is to carry information from sensory receptor cell which are present in our body to the brain, and motor neuron, its function is to transmit the information from brain to the muscles. And the interneurons, they transmit information between different neurons in the body. So what's neuron? These are the fundamental unit of the brain and nervous system. Okay, the cells which are responsible for receiving the sensory input from external world, for sending motor commands to our muscles, and for transforming and relaying the electrical signals at every step in between. So all in all, we can say that neurons, these are the fundamental unit of our brain and nervous system. And what is their function? Their function is to carry the various inputs from external world to our brain, and that is how our brain will respond to various situations. Now let us study about the structure of neuron. So the neuron, it is different, it is in different shape and size, okay, and that shape, structure, it depends on the function and their location. So all neurons, they have main three parts, which are dendrite, cell body and axon. The three parts are dendrite, cell body and axon. So here we have dendrite, okay, this is the cell body, okay, nucleus we have, axon, soma, Schwann cell, and this is the nerve ending. What is dendrite? So dendrite, it is a branch-like structure which receives message from other neurons, and it allows the transmission of message to the cell body. Okay, so these are the dendrites. Then we have cell body. So what is cell body? Each neuron, it has a cell body, okay, which contains nucleus, Golgi bodies, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, and all the other components which a cell possesses. Okay, so this is the cell body. And then we have axon. So axon, it is a tube-like structure that carries electrical impulse from cell body to axon terminals, and these pass the impulse to another neuron, and that is how the information is kept on passing from one neuron to another. Okay, so this is the axon. Synapse. So synapse, it is a kind of chemical junction which is between terminal of one neuron and dendrite of another neuron. So it will be like, if this is terminal of one neuron and here dendrite of another neuron starts, so this is the junction between these two, and that is known as synapse. So our question, define neuron. So neuron, they are the fundamental unit of our brain and the nervous system, and their function is to carry the signals from our body to the brain and from brain to the body. What is axon and what is its function? So axon, it is a kind of tube-like structure which carries electrical impulse from cell body to axon terminal. And what is the function of dendrites? So dendrites, their main function is to receive the message from other neurons, and it allows the transmission from our transmission to our body parts. Now let's label the diagram. So first one, it is dendrites. Okay, and this part, it is known as cell body. Then we have nucleus here. So in cell body, all the parts are present. Then fourth number, it is myelin sheath. Okay. This whole part, it is known as axon. This particular thing which is shown here, it is known as node of Renvia. Then here we have synapse, and this part is the nerve ending. So these are the various parts of neurons. Let's move forward to interesting facts. So there are over 1 billion neurons in our spinal cord, and over 120 muscles and 220 ligaments, they support the average spine. The longest nerve in our body, it is sciatic nerve, and it runs from spinal cord to the toes on each side of the body. And our sense of smell, it is around 10,000 times more sensitive than our sense of taste. That is why we can remember smell very easily. Challenge of the day says, why does food not taste good when we have cold? So what happens is, the aroma or the smell that we have in our food, it travels from our mouth to the nasal cavity, and the hair cells which are present in the nasal cavity, they carry this information to the brain. Now what happens during cold? Due to production of extra mucus, the hair cells, they are prevented to carry this information to our brain, and that is why we are not able to distinguish between the taste when we have cold. Now let's do an activity to see what we have learned today. Brain, spinal cord and nerves together, they form which system? So that is the nervous system. Okay. Touch, pressure, vibration, stretch, hearing, so these are mechanoreceptors. Then temperature change, it is related to thermoreceptor, and light, retina, which is present in our eyes, rods and cones, these are photoreceptors. Neurons are building blocks of nervous system, so that